And a glimpse inside the locker room. Players' final few moments to... And let's take a look at the last handful of seasons and the steal numbers for Paul George.
And when you see the tumble his steal totals have taken the last few years, you can see that he's gotten away from playing the kind of gritty, hard-nosed D he was known for. That's an aspect of his game he needs to get back.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. Ivica Zubac is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Jackson. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's George in at the shooting guard. And for Dallas, Kleba is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Richardson is out there with Luka Doncic. And it's Finney-Smith in at the small forward position. And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. Here's Doncic. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. What happens to team chemistry, Brent, at this stage of the season? Teammates have spent, a lot of time together already at this point.
Well, this is where veteran leadership and guys who have been through deep runs or their understanding of what it takes to have a team go through deep runs can really pay off, Kevin. Making guys accountable to the things that you've talked about all year long in the next couple weeks, that's critical.
Here's Doncic, following the score by Reggie Jackson. Porzingis can't hit.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
They get the rebound. Right side Jackson. The pass to Zubac. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Here's George. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him.
Well, he knows how to score, and he does just that. Don't let Paul George fool you. He can finish inside.
Doncic against Leonard. Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now here's Leonard. He's an offensive force, averaging nearly 26 points a game. Floats it up for Doncic. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. A guy who just continues to earn more minutes. Finney-Smith is tough, and Greg, he is effective.
He seems to become a better rebounder every year, more efficient. He'll take charges, commits hard fouls, and I don't think we've seen his ceiling. Finney-Smith is a guy you can win with.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Man, right off the bat, super sharp here offensively. 4 of 5 so far.
Doncic outside. Over Jackson. That shot missing. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Here's Patterson. It's deflected. And it's the Mavericks on the break. And the rejection by Leonard.
And that's the thing we know about Leonard. As a defender, on the ball, off the ball, he's rarely out of any play.
Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for the Mavericks. And then for the Clippers, Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Patterson. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Jackson.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, why settle for the layup when you can attack the rim and rise up like that?
And that one is good from Zubac.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
And here is Doncic. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Minnesota. Pushing it up. Here's Leonard. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Tim Hardaway picks one up.
Good scorers have that ability. When Leonard gets that deep, it's usually a bucket, a trip to the free throw line, or both.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Marjanovic checked in for Porzingis. Willie Cauley-Stein comes in for Maxi Kleba. J.J. Redick's checked in for Josh Richardson. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Luka Doncic.
You can't let J.J. Redick get hot from there. And he usually starts the game that way, so this could be a long night.
Rondo looking over the floor. Here's Leonard, and he converts the layup. Leonard's got 8.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Brunson against Rondo. Brunson the pass to Hardaway. Leonard with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Here's Batum. Feeds to Rondo. 51 seconds left to play in the first. Outside Leonard. 6 to shoot. Back to Rondo. Releases. Man can't hit.
Not a bad shot from the mid-range. The D's giving it to him, and he's usually got an eye in that kind of range.
And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's his first foul. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Here's Brunson. Nails the baby hook. We've got 28 seconds left here in the first quarter. Now Rondo. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Right wing. Here's Mann. Just 5 to shoot. Over Redick. Mann can't hit.
Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there. Too bad he can't release that one on target.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the LA Clippers. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll return shortly. And as we return, it's Noche Latina, celebrating the NBA's connection to the Latin American community. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Working the offensive glass that sometimes comes from predictable shots from your offense, and they've been opportunistic here.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for the Clippers right now, Batum is out there with Luke Kennard. That's Rajon Rondo, and it's Mann in at the 2. And it's Rondo with the ball for Los Angeles. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up. Impressive
To see them on the road just step up and have that kind of offensive performance.
Now here's Brunson. He had 16 points in the win against Minnesota.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
Clippers leading by 4. Mann gets the bucket. Mann's got his first basket.
Traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
Batum against Cauley Stein. And Cauley Stein throws it down.
Cauley Stein doing what he does best on offense, looking to throw it down.
Here now, the Clippers. They host the 76ers after this game. Rondo kicks to Kennard. Pass to Oturu. Wide open. Cauley Stein grabs the board.
Yeah, that miss might stick with him for a little while. That's kind of a shoot-around jumper if I've ever seen one.
Here's Redick. Passes it to Marjanovic. And Marjanovic with the slam.
Yeah, Redick more than happy to get off the ball that time and spot the open man.
Outside Rondo. Pass to Kennard. Here's Mann. Covered by Redick. And there's the pass to Oturu. Outside Batum. Kennard's shot is off.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
It's going to be a goaltending call here. And yep, the coach's challenge being used here on the goaltending call. He wants it reviewed.
And with this type of goaltending review process, one thing to keep in mind is that the rule states, quote, in order to overturn the event as called on the floor, there must be clear and conclusive visual evidence that the call was incorrect.
And so, Greg, if via replay there is any level of ambiguity, it makes sense that the original ruling would stay. But in that event, the coach has used up his one and only coach's challenge for the game. So, as you can tell, a lot riding on when you choose to use it. And so the decision is in. NBA Replay Center has ruled, guys. The call stands on the goaltend.
And maybe the only downside is that you use up your one coach's challenge for the game. So if anything happens beyond this point, you might wish you had that back. Smart not to take any chances and give it another look on the replay. That's such a valuable safety net for the officials to have.
Doncic against Jackson. Leonard with the steal. Steps back and fires. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Clippers lead by 4.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Doncic in the dunk by Doncic.
And when you want Doncic, he's one of those guys who kind of just slithers around until he finds an opening, and then bam.
Outside, George. The shot misses. Good work defensively by Richardson. Mavericks have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second.
And the versatility of Paul George's game, elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
And you think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor. I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George.
Good on the shot.
Just hard to explain in its entirety the type of offensive impact that Paul George can make. He's just so multifaceted on the offensive end of the floor.
Here's Doncic. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Morris is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. All free throws good from Doncic.
Yeah, the versatility and competitive fire of Doncic is impressive. You can just tell this kid loves to play the game.
Zubac finds George. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Doncic. The Mavericks have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Always the connection with the teammate. That time Porzingis in the right spot.
Outside, George fires the 3. He can't get it to go. Paul George with the steal. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Mavericks ahead, ending the second quarter on a 14-6 run. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Ken. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. They kept at it on both ends of the floor. And that does it for our halftime.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Kleba is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Doncic out there with Josh Richardson. And it's Finney-Smith in at the 3. So that's who Rick Carlisle starts the second half with. Pass to Zubac. Jackson down low. Guarded by Doncic. And the foul on Josh Richardson. That is his first foul of the game. And it's the Clippers with the ball. Trailing by 4. Jackson passes to Zubac. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound.
I don't think the defense does enough out there to bother him. I think that one's all on him. Just a flat-out miss.
Clippers trail by 4. Here's Patterson. It's good. Patterson's got his first basket of the night.
That's the efficiency you want to see from Jackson, using his poise and vision to make a play.
Out to Doncic. And here's Porzingis for a three. A three-pointer is right on target. Porzingis has got the lead up to 5 now for the Mavs. Outside, George. From deep three-point range, the Mavericks pull it in. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And the Clippers get called for the foul.
Well, Porzingis in the early part of his career has had some phenomenal first halves of seasons. And the second half has faded. You really just want to see a complete year from Kristaps Porzingis where he can dominate.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Maxi Kleber. Redick comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Doncic. The Clippers also making some changes. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Patterson. Luke Kennard comes in for George. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Jackson.
Well, he's so dangerous, and he's also efficient with his offensive game. Leonard right now having a tremendous offensive night.
Brunson the pass to Cauley Stein. Back to Brunson. It's hauled in by Zubats. Zubats has got 4 rebounds in this game. Leonard with the ball. Now guarded by Redick. And Kennard wide open. He shoots. A three-pointer off the mark. Mavericks leading by 4. Batum with the steal. Here's Zubats. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Zubats has got his second bucket of the night.
Now, you can't leave someone open around Rondo. He'll find him.
Here's Brunson. And that one is hammered home.
Big hops from the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe just what they need to get this game, GA, going in their direction.
Defense has got to be better. Flat out effort was not there.
And here's Leonard from 3. The shot comes out, so the Mavericks will take it the other way. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home.
Maybe the length coming into play this time for Cauley Stein as he's up and over the top of everyone.
Over in the corner, Batum. From deep. Fires from 18. It's rebounded by Dallas. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds now tonight. The drive by Redick. He kicks to Cauley Stein. And Cauley Stein throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Rondo finds Kennard. Fires the 3. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Dallas leading by 8. Outside for Redick. And it's Dallas with another.
And this is right around the time when one team might start to pull away.
Yeah, this team is looking to add to the lead, trying to put the other team away, and threatening here.
Leonard with the ball. Now guarded by Porzingis. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Really, with that level of speed and power, it is so difficult to keep Leonard from scoring on the drive.
Rondo against Brunson. Out to Porzingis. Passes it to Redick. And Dallas again with the bucket.
Now, the defense has got to wake up a little bit. That's J.J. Redick out there, and that's J.J. with room to fire.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
Got to hold firm, or you're going to get a call.
Brunson scanning the floor. Pass to Marjanovic. 4 seconds left. And Marjanovic with the slam.
Total letdown by the D. Can't leave the bucket unprotected.
Absolutely. And it takes an easy 2 points onto the lead.
Will not find a higher percentage opportunity than that.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks enjoying a 12-point lead. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Sometimes that's what can separate some of the best players, not just creating for yourself, but creating for others as well.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the 4th, Morris is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's man in at the 2. On the wing, Hardaway. The 3. The rebound by Patterson.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Morris kicks to George. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Count it.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Morris with the block.
And a rare block shot from Morris. Anticipates the move and just times it out perfectly. And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
So when a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul called.
Here's Oturu. Leba defending. Here's George. And they call the foul, so he's got the and 1 chance here to make it a 3-point play.
Well, the early years when Paul George came into the league with the Pacers, you wondered how his frame would fill out. It's filled out nicely.
And the Mavericks call time here.
Giving up a run here, can they turn it around?
Hard to say right now. At this point, I've seen the coaches run through 2 or 3 iterations of defense. Is there a 4th? I'm not sure.
Mavericks will go for a different look here. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Powell comes in for Maxi Kleber. Josh Richardson's checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's Burke in for Hardaway. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I heard Rick Carlisle during that last break talking with the team. He told them, hey, this game is there for you, but we got to go get it. 50-50 balls, get into the basket. We have to give it all right now. Kevin?
Jackson with it. Here's George. Powell pulls it in.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
And here's George for 3. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Mavericks leading. And here is Cauley Stein. Now the pass to Burke. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And the Clippers making a change here. Zubac is checked in.
And how about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult.
Oturu, the pass to Kanan. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And all of a sudden, that great run makes this a ball game again. And now is no time to take your foot off the gas. They have got to stay aggressive.
Well, they stacked up everything to get to this point. Now they have to shift into overdrive.
Here's Burke. He feeds it to Powell. And the rejection by Zubac. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Jackson's got the ball, and the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason, I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Zingas, he's checked in for Cauley Stein. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dwight Powell. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Trey Burke. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
The drive by Doncic. Lays it up off the glass. And the Mavericks lead by 1.
How about the poise from Doncic right there? He ups the ante when it's a critical possession here in the game. Jackson passes to George. Down low. Here's Zubac. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 3rd assist on the night. Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass. Doncic right side. He is hauled in by Los Angeles. Throws it down as the official calls the coach's challenge has been issued. A team like this, out of the wire, this is what it's for. And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time. The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call. And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. And now let's take a look at the New Balance player of the game, Paul George.
And he's had a very good night shooting the basketball, a little over 50% from the field. And a lot of those shots have come against some tight D's. That shows the level of...
Go ahead and lead him, Paul George. Stepping up, huge shot at this moment in the game.
Doncic against one. Outside, Redick. There's the triple. Got it. And he has brought them to within 2 points. Remember that one. Guys, a difference maker.
I'm wondering, is that the biggest shot of the game?
George dishes to Leonard. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Back to George. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 5. George with no one around. That one wide left. From past the arc. The 3 won't fall. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet. Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation. And so they foul intentionally. It's the first. That makes it a 3-point lead.
Well, just 1 year in college for Paul George, and then made the transition to the NBA, and all the talk was about what it is we're seeing now. A very capable two-way player and all-star caliber talent. That's a huge confidence boost right there for Kristaps Porzingis. He's proving he's got what it takes.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. So for And the Clippers looking good as they came into the arena before. And with it,
Kevin, thanks very much.
sure is. Thanks, D.A. Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Zubats in at the 5. And for Denver, we've got Aaron Gordon. Porter is out there with Murray. And it's Green. And it's Jokic in at the 5 down low. Now here's Murray. And it's Murray with the jam.
You have to enjoy seeing Murray jam it down. His vertical is very impressive.
George looking over the floor. His three-pointers off the mark. Here's Denver now. Last time they faced off, it was right here at home where they couldn't get it done.
In the NBA, you've got to keep pace. It's a fast track out there, and I thought their lack of hustle defensively was the story of the game.
You know, sometimes great skill can overcome a lack of intensity, but it's very rare.
And it's George again missing. Nuggets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Jokic kicks to Murray. On the wing, Gordon. And as we come down the home stretch, some teams in position for the playoffs. How do you prepare for those young players who haven't been there yet, are wide-eyed and learning as they go?
You know, I'm not sure there's any preparing for it. I mean, they're going to be expected to contribute. You've got to be prepared from the standpoint of knowing your assignments, and because there's so much more information today, that does help. But the reality is they've already given the coaching staff a reason to think they have what it takes to help them make a run.
Here's Murray following the basket by Nicholas Batum. Porter finds Jokic. To the paint. Good, and the assist goes to Murray.
Plays a rugged game down low. Jokic's toughness adds character to the identity of this team.
Now here's Jackson. He had 28 points in the win against San Antonio. Outside Leonard. Outside for George. Just 4 to shoot. Had the space there, but it's offline.
Just a little off to start this game. 1 for 5, looking to find some kind of rhythm.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Zubac the pass to Jackson. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. George against Porter. Here's Jackson. The putback. It doesn't go for him. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
And that was a game to forget. You'd like to find some teachable moments, but I think they'd like to just turn the page and move forward.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we overanalyze things. Can be better to just let it go.
And if you're drawing up your starting 5 for team irrational confidence, Jamal Murray makes a strong case. This guy is fearless.
The drive by Jackson. And it's sent back by Jokic.
And check out Jokic using not just his length, but also the timing. The offensive player better think twice next time.
Oh,
yes. Goodness. And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
This is my type of approach. Get some high percentage looks. Then later, you can play inside out.
Porter finds Green. To the inside. It's tipped. Batum with the steal. And oh, here we go with Leonard. Nobody back. And finished off by Leonard.
Like a gazelle cruising down the court, Kawhi's difficult to stay with in transition.
Here's Murray up on top, guarded by Jackson. Murray, good.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
George with the ball. A 24-point outing in their last game against San Antonio.
He was really aggressive on the glass, too. He really racked up on the boards out there.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And Murray, here we go. And the Nuggets can't hang on to the ball. So it's both teams making substitutions here. And now another look at that mobile one-block defensive performance.
Some intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be there all night long.
Rondo scanning the floor. Pass to Kennard. From outside, off the mark. the corner, it's Gordon. He wants to get to Millsap and does.
Meeting right at the rim. He typically converts in those situations. Not this time.
And so it's the Denver Nuggets heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your
the mentality of how we play, how we move.
Greg, sounds like something a coach would say.
It's probably something his coach has said time and time again, but Murray's really matured into a reliable, sometimes spectacular performer for this team.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. What do you guys think about the Nuggets out here in this one?
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
Paul Millsap out there with JaVale McGee. Then there's Gordon. Then it's Will Barton. That's the group for Denver getting going here in the second. Clark, he's checked in for Aaron Gordon. Today, Greg, we see a lot more friendly rivalry. Does that bother you?
Not at all. I mean, people like to say, well, our era had the rivalries were more bitter. I disagree with that. I think guys are every bit as competitive today as they've ever been.
That's good to hear.
They just also have more exposure and opportunity to be around one another. Kids today growing up, they've been playing against each other since the 5th, 6th grade in national tournaments. When we played, we didn't get to see the other top players around the country. So I think that was one reason why you didn't have a closeness with guys that unless you were on the same team.
Rondo, the dish to Morris. One-on-one here. Here's Barton, and he dunks it right on Patrick Patterson. Ouch!
Now that's beautiful. Millsap could have forced something there, but instead waits for his open teammate.
Here's Rondo, and it's Denver with the rebound.
Oops, got caught in between moves there on his way to the rack.
And it's Barton that time on the assist by Clark. Barton's got the lead up to 11 now for the Nuggets.
And you look at it, 8 of the last 10 points they've given up here coming in transition.
Patterson passes to Mann. Back to Patterson. Shoots the 3. Los Angeles with another miss. Denver leading by 11. And Barton throws it down.
Of the two offenses here tonight, you can tell theirs is just a bit more in sync.
They've had better patience, better shot selection so far, but we still have a long way to go.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, defensively, your mantra at this point has to be no easy buckets.
From deep, it's stolen by Rondo. And here's the fast break. Kennard kicks to Morris. Now Kennard, looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Some solid defense from Clark. For Denver, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 shots to fall in the second quarter. Outstanding shooting. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Ball's knocked loose. 6 on the shot clock. Outside Millsap. Hits the three-point bomb. Millsap's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Not a natural shooter from distance, but Paul Millsap has improved with hard work.
Here's Rondo. And the layup's good off the glass.
I love it. Beautiful job getting to the rim, making a play.
The Nuggets leading by 12. Campazzo, he's covered by Rondo. The shot's good from McGee. McGee's got his first points of the game.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It's often a tough call that can go either way, but I agree with you on that one.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles.
Well, how can you not love the continued resurgence of JaVale McGee? There were some years where he was trying to figure it out. Now he's a big factor for this team at center.
Jokic kicks to Barton. Jokic inside, working on Zubac. Jokic with the bucket. And the Nuggets lead by 16. Outside, George. Here's the three. Denver grabs the miss. Jokic has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Clippers trail by 16. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. A nice shot by George.
Good vision, good decision by Reggie. Pushing for a better shot, finds an open man.
There's 14 seconds left in the first half of the game. Shot clock at 6. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Jamal Murray. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the... Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to Denver had no problems getting going. Near flawless execution from both the defensive and offensive areas. And that...
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
There is no stopping him, and you can't even contain him at this point. He is that talented.
Yeah, and sometimes the strategy in that case, don't let anyone else beat you. You know he's going to get his, so try and keep it to that.
And the Clippers, looking at who they've got Paul George. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Jackson in at the point. Shots good by Green.
JaMychal Green's shooting ability cannot be forgotten. He has put in a ton of time to improving his J.
George passes to Zubac. Jokic against George. And George with the stuff.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Especially if the defense is going to allow you to do it. Have to switch on that play.
Back to Murray. Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. Makes it off the glass. Murray's got 8 points.
Love how creative Murray is with the ball. Just dribbling through defenders like it's nothing.
Jackson dishes to George. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
We've seen him put a lot of pressure on the defense and then cash in at the line.
Murray outside. And it's Murray with the jam.
You got to feel comfortable when Murray is working the pick and roll. His shooting, speed, and passing all are next level.
Outside for George. A 3-ball. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. Any chance you get, you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's what he did there.
Great job of reading the floor, got to the rim, and made a play.
Here's Oturu outside for Jackson. Buries the long-range jumper. Jackson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Here's Gordon. Crafty move. Count the basket. Gordon's got his second basket of the game.
Not one to shy away from contact. It's all part of the toughness that Gordon brings to the table.
Down low. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. Murray against Jackson. Back to Murray. 6 for 6. He's yet to miss from the field.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Porter against George. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
And they've really gotten on track here in the second half. After that shaky start, the field goal percentage steadily climbing. They couldn't make anything in that first break.
The putback, great positioning on the putback. And the Nuggets lead by 13.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Outside, Batum. A 3 from Leonard. That one, no good.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Porter passes to Bull. And the dunk by Bull.
The towering presence that is Bull. Good at staying active and going after those offensive rebounds.
George passes to Oturu. And George kicks to Jackson. 3-pointer. Shot is good, and the Nugget lead is cut down now to just 12 on the basket from George.
Efficient performance from him. Not the case for everyone else on his team.
Murray against Jackson, and it's Murray penetrating. Passes it to Najee. To the middle, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Nuggets will retain possession.
And he jumped out to that ball immediately. Great reaction on that deflection.
A little bit late there, but you tried to get into your opponent's head. Forced them to go somewhere else with the ball, and he did that.
And so it's the Denver Nuggets. Their lead at 15 going into the break. What a defensive effort they put on Kawhi Leonard. It's rare to see him have the kind of trouble he's had tonight. And we'll be right back after this. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Fundamental basketball. Keep your eyes up. Keep the ball moving. You're going to keep the defense on its heels.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Jokic is out there with Jermichael Green. Then it's Will Barton. Then there's Paul Millsap. That's the group on the floor for Denver. Now here's Rondo. He's covered closely. And so it's Jokic with the ball. He brings it up for the Denver Nuggets. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. Clippers trail by 15. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and stolen by Barton. It's stolen by Morris. Rondo wide open. Millsap grabs the miss. they've shared the load offensively.
And, guys, they put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react, and that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively. And great hustle to turn that block shot into a fast break opportunity. Big-time play on both ends.
Morris with the block.
And this is what staying active can give you. Morris sending that one back with authority.
There's the pass to Jokic. Just 5 on the clock. Tries again. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Here's Patterson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Nuggets leading by 13. And Jokic gets it to go. The assist by Green.
And you better hammer Jokic to get him off on his shot. The Serbian is a solid 7-footer and laser focused.
Rondo passes to Zubac. Over Millsap. And it's Denver with the rebound. Millsap's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And stolen by Patterson. Here's Morris. Banked in off the glass. Morris has got 4 points in the quarter.
Okay, nice job here in the second half. Field goal percentage is way up from what it was at halftime when it was just barely above 30%.
And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Nuggets. For those just joining us, 4th quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. And it's McGee with the jam.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Outside, George. And then jammed down as he goes right over Jokic.
Letting it all hang out when George takes flight. Just enjoy the show.
Campazzo, guarded by Jackson. The feed to Barton, stolen by Zubac. And here's the break, and an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Pass to George. Leonard with the ball. Takes the 3. And it's George missing. The Nuggets leading by 13. Barton, wide open, he fires. They get it back.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Nuggets.
They enjoyed a big boost from the strong play of their bench.
The subs came in and did their job. Those points off the bench were key to their victory.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And with this win now, we're all square, 1-1. 2 more games yet to come, and what's proving to be a very competitive season series.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Jokic.
What was impressive to me, it felt like he made an impact in so many areas. Some of the effort won't show up in the stat sheet, but I noticed it.
Clippers moving the ball around. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And you gotta like that they found something positive here, something that maybe carry overs into the next game.
They put together some great possessions here at the end. It's a shame they could have used this run much earlier.
And a miss there on the triple. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. It's going to be Jokic shooting. That's on Reggie Jackson.
A nightly double-double threat. Jokic is also an exceptional playmaker for a guy that size.
George passes to Leonard. The 3. Batum. It's good on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for Denver. At one point, they led by 16. Pass to Jokic. Beyond the arc. Batum grabs the miss. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
So explosive with the dunk. Kawhi Leonard gets up quick to slam it down.
And it's McGee penetrating. And so it's Denver. All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. The lights of downtown reflecting off the... Here are the 5 for the Clippers. Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in at the point. And for the Trailblazers, pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Powell. And it's Nurkic in at the 5 down low. And that one, good. McCollum's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Trailblazers. McCollum against George. Now as we enter the back half of the season, some players are worn down. But, Greg, are there certain players who really dial in at this point, who find traction with their game?
No doubt about it, Kevin. Especially for the veterans who understand it's a marathon and not a sprint. You really are trying to build up towards this portion and take your game and your mindset to another level. So this is a time for those guys when they just start to hit their stride. And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
And here's George for 3. And it's rebounded by Covington. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Lillard with the ball. McCollum finds Powell. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Here's Los Angeles now. It's a 3-point game. Oh, my goodness! Wow. What a play!
Well, don't let Kawhi's quiet demeanor fool you. This guy has athleticism and explosiveness. How about that in style?
Powell for 3. No good there. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
Certainly something to keep an eye on. We'll see how the rotations go this time out. Every night it seems to be different.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Trailblazers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game.
When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college. But boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
Now here's Jackson after the miss from Damian Lillard, and it's in there. Jackson's got his second bucket tonight.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Lillard from outside, hands it from downtown. Lillard's got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for the Trailblazers. And Doris, you were talking about Leonard's work ethic. Going back to San Diego State, he used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. No lights on in the gym, so he brought his own lamps. I mean, the guy was dedicated.
No doubt, Kevin, and that has been the through line of his career. First to practice, last to leave. He has that hunger to improve, the drive and the desire to put in the time to be great. There's a price to be paid, and he's willing to pay it.
Here's Lillard. Paul George making his last shot. And it's Lillard again missing. Here's George. And George with the stuff.
I'll tell you, there's little you can do to stop Paul George when he's got his game going. He has the lane to the rim, and you know he's going to finish.
Now here's Lillard. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Heat in Miami.
The other thing, he really changed the pace of the game when you consider how many free throws he shot. Drawing fouls is an art, and really he has mastered that part of the game.
A nice shot by George.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Here's Lillard. Nurkic. There's Nurkic putting it right back in.
And just a massive player. Nurkic's combination of size and strength helps him on that offensive glass.
Jackson drives in. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
McCollum outside. Pass to Lillard. Back to Powell from the arc. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession. Anthony's checked in for C.J. McCollum. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Rajon Rondo's checked in for Jackson. Lillard with it. He's got 6. Rocket 6. Here's Nurkic. Paul George grabs the miss.
And, you know, you can see in his eyes, he knows that is not a dunk he should have missed.
It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to Leonard. Over Anthony. And 2 free throws. And it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the official.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. Double checking, and the game continues on.
In the corner, Powell with it. They get it again. Cantor. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Well, we know this. When Enes Kanter is engaged, this guy is an effective offensive force. The defense has got to be on point.
And Kanter drops them both. Now here's Rondo. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. And so it's Los Angeles, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Greg, we know many guys in the NBA have range, but deep.
When I'm training in the summer.
The team seems to support, Greg, that philosophy 100%.
The game has changed. Some guys would rather take a few steps back to get a cleaner look. Lillard being one of them.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys have done a great job guarding multiple positions.
They've got Anthony. He's out there with Jones. Norman Powell is out there with Enes Kanter. And it's Simons in at the point guard. They're the group the Portland Trailblazers will start the second quarter with.
Well, this guy is a skilled scorer from that area. Once Enes Kanter gets a little bit of position, he's good.
Morris outside. Over Jones. Los Angeles with another miss.
Boy, against so little defensive pressure, you have to convert that.
They get it back, and Kanter throws it down.
I love that Kanter will pursue rebounds out of his area. This guy's such a powerful player who's willing to exert his will.
And it's Rondo penetrating. And there's the feed to Patterson. Morris against Jones. Taken away by Anthony. And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That's his first foul. And Portland making a change here. McCollum's checked in. Launches a 3. Here's Kanter. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Cantor's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, Cantor just has an ability to score on the interior. That's his special skill.
Rondo with it. Jones covering. And Kennard wide open. He shoots. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Hey, Greg, you played in a different era of NBA defense. When you look at how defense is played now in the league, how do you feel about it?
You know, Kevin, I think the introduction of the zone, by and large, has been great. You get a lot more switching, and I think it brings more skill into the game. Don't get me wrong. I do miss the physicality that we had back in the 90s, but I tell you what, right now, my body wishes I had the opportunity to play in this era.
I bet it does. Here's Anthony. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Pass to Oturu. Outside Rondo to the paint. Got a piece of it. Taken away by Anthony. Nice break. Here come the Trailblazers. Here's Jones. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. The Clippers take possession. Let's see some of the numbers here for C.J. McCollum. A different look now for Portland. Robert Covington's checked in for Jones, and it's Damian Lillard in for Anfernee Simons. George is checked in for Los Angeles. Now Rondo. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Up again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Lillard, the pass to Cantor. Back to Lillard for 3. Drills the three-pointer. Lillard's got 9 points.
Boy, I love seeing Cantor distribute the basketball. If you're open, this guy will find you.
Lillard against Rondo. And it's Portland with the rebound. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And bottom line, they found ways to score. Credit the game plan going in. It was right on the money.
And that's not an easy environment to play in. To score at the rate they did on the road says a lot about their intensity and focus.
Nurkic checked in for Portland. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Jackson's checked in.
I'll tell you, he's having his way right now in the second period. Forget the first quarter. Let's get to work.
The shot by George, wide open. Bangs home the trifecta. 10 points for him.
Well, Paul George says, I can answer with my own big-time three-point shot. Go to work, PG.
Lillard from outside. No good. He's now missed more than he's made. 4 for 9. LA's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Nobody near Lillard. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
I'm not sure what he thought he could get away with there. Pretty clear over the back.
Yeah, easy call for the officials. Sometimes I think you can reach over without making contact, but that was not one of those times.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Powell's checked in. And then for the Clippers, Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Patterson. And Kawhi Leonard comes in for Kennard. And stolen by Lillard. An even 3-on-3 break. Here's Nurkic.
One of the best defensive players.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just...
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again. It was all about the Clippers as the game got going. At one point, they had a 9-point lead fueled. And that does it for our halftime.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You have to like what we've seen so far from Damian Lillard.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Paul George is out there with Reggie Jackson. Then there's Batum. And it's Zubac in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
No excuse giving Lillard that kind of positioning. That's just too easy.
George against McCollum. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
Six to shoot. Now the dish to Leonard. Here's Zubac. The pass to Leonard. Jackson has the open look. Off target from outside.
Well, I guarantee you this is not what they talked about in the locker room. 0 for 3 and looking lost.
Shot is good in the Los Angeles leads. Cut down to 2 on the bucket from Lillard.
And how about Lillard just being aggressive here on offense? He can heat up quickly, just super efficient, and a high IQ score.
Zubac, and it's good. 2 points.
Their first basket in 4 tries. Let's see if that basket gets them going. It can be contagious now.
Pass to McCollum. Stolen by Jackson. And here we go. George heading to the hoop. Clippers moving the ball around. Shoots over Powell, and it's George missing.
1 for 5 has got to be a frustrating start, and they just don't look sharp right now. Can they find their offensive game?
Outside for Batum. Lillard against George. And George with the stuff.
Well, we know that Paul George understands there's a certain point in the game when he's got to take over, and he's doing it now.
Lillard against Jackson. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Cantor checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Carmelo Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Jones checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for McCollum. Count it. Good. And the Clippers lead by 5.
He is a master in that pick and roll. He knows exactly when to pull the trigger or facilitate.
And Lillard kicks to Jones. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Greg, not all drafts are the same in terms of talent. 2019 was a year to remember.
No doubt about it. I mean, transcendent talent at the top. You think of Zion and Ja, both could be future league MVPs. And the irony is that those 2 guys were teammates in high school. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure is right. Let's take this chance to go to the 2K leaderboard and display the best free throw shooters of the second half of the season. Damian Lillard is second. Third is Carmelo Anthony.
Both of these guys have been simply fantastic from the free throw line. That little midseason rest did wonders for their confidence.
I remember when Patrick Patterson was coming out of high school. Major recruiting battle. Every school seemed to want this guy. Duke, Florida, you name it. But the Kentucky Wildcats win again.
Here's Lillard. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Lillard's got 21 in the game. Los Angeles leading by 3. Rondo looking around. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Yeah, how about the speed of Rondo there? Just terrific at getting in the lane and finishing at the rim.
Here's Lillard. Cantor trying to free himself up. And Damian Lillard with the jam.
Big hops from the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe just what they need to get this game, GA, going in their direction.
Boy, as tight as this one is, that's a statement play saying, hey, listen, we're not here to back down from you guys.
And now this game's taken on a whole new feel since halftime.
What energy we're seeing. Something has lit a fire under both of these teams.
Lillard misses.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Rondo passes to Zubac. Here's Mann. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And Patterson kicks to Zubac. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Rondo. No good. Excellent D from Cancer. And it's Rajon Rondo with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Jackson, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Trailblazers trail by 5. Shot and game clock separated by 5. To the wing right side. Simons, the pass to Anthony. Dishes it to Cantor. And the rejection by Zubac. Here's Jones. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Zubac has got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Jackson, and Jackson throws it down hard.
Yeah, you got to respect the awareness level of Rondo. When his teammates have a clean look at the basket, the ball gets there without hesitation.
And so it's Los Angeles heading to the bench with a 7. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
You love the unselfishness, finding the best look, and it doesn't matter who's taking it.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Nurkic is out there with Anthony. Then there's Derek Jones. Then there's Norman Powell. And it's McCollum in at the 1. That's the group on the floor for Portland. And Nurkic gets it to go.
And such a polished player near the basket. Nurkic feels comfortable taking those in-close shots.
Jackson kicks to George. Good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
Robert Covington's checked in for the Trailblazers. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Terry Stotts went over with his team. He told them, don't look at the scoreboard. It's 0-0. One play at a time. Execute the game plan. That's how we're going to win this game. Kevin is trying to keep him focused.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Paul George really making a difference here.
This is a timely timeout because this guy is hurting them. They've got to figure it out.
For the Trailblazers, Harry Giles comes in for Robert Covington. And Damian Lillard is subbed in for Norman Powell. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in. To the middle. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from McCollum.
And, you know, often we think of Dame as a scorer first, but they're reminding us of his great ability to pass the rock.
Here's Leonard. Pass to Okuru. Kicks it out to Leonard. No good on the 3.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Giles, the pass to Anthony. Portland moving the ball around. Jackson against Lillard. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Lillard against Jackson. Outside Anthony. Out to the right wing. Here's Lillard. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Robert Covington's checked in for the Trailblazers. Norman Powell comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for the Clippers.
Wearing the number 0 for a reason. Damian Lillard has it on his back for his city, Oakland. Just the latest star from the town.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Adjustments are a part of the game, and the coach sees something he doesn't like here.
Well, this is a chess match. Looking ahead a few moves and trying to execute toward that.
A different look now for Portland. Giles checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Carmelo Anthony in for Norman Powell. Jackson looking it over. Over in the corner, Zubac. Outside Jackson. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Zubac, no good.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Here's Lillard. Rebounded by Jackson.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
Proof positive that Lillard is worthy. That's talent you can build a franchise around.
McCollum against George. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Yusuf Nurkic.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
I don't know if it's underplayed, but there's an all-around aspect to what Paul George does on a night-by-night basis. This guy is an elite two-way player.
Lillard, the pass to Giles. Back to Lillard. Lets it go with the three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. George has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Leonard. The shot's good on the assist by George.
How about the focus and locked-in nature of Kawhi Leonard? My goodness.
Lillard from outside. Nurkic kicks to Anthony. Goes back up. Back to Lillard. The three. Good on the triple. Lillard's got 8 points in the quarter.
That's one of the reasons Lillard is out there. He gives you that deep threat.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion for the Trailblazers. Robert Covington comes in for Giles. And Norman Powell subbed in for Carmelo Anthony.
He knew what was riding on those foul shots and didn't mess around, making this a 2-possession game.
Lillard from outside. The shot, no good. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. There's Jackson with the 3. And it's Portland with the rebound. There's 48 seconds left in the game. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lillard. 43 seconds left to play here in the 4th. And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That will get in his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2. Patterson, he's checked in for Nicholas Batum. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
Well, you want to continue to build the lead, so a very productive trip to the line right there.
32 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Lillard with the bucket. This is what he's known for. When it's an important possession, Lillard knows how to come through.
Outside Jackson. Passes to Zubac. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. And no good on the technical, so unable to pick that one up. George against McCollum. Lock at 6. George double teamed. Nurkic with the steal. And here we go. Lillard from outside. It's good. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
And I think the defender knows once.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's... Staples Center downtown lot. Taking a look here at some of the numbers for Paul George.
And he's lost some of his feel for the three-point shot. It's been a tough month for him from long range compared to earlier in the season. And now he might be starting to press, which can lead to even more problems.
Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Luka Doncic out there with Richardson. And there's Porzingis. Then it's Willie Cauley-Stein. And it's Finney Smith in at the small forward. And for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then it's Paul George. And it's Oturu in at the center position.
Well, after the boos on draft night when he got to the league, you could immediately recognize the unique talents of Kristaps Porzingis, and he keeps trying to raise the bar for himself. An exciting young player for the league.
And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Finney Smith passes to Richardson. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And Leonard gets it to go. You know, at this point of the year, what's the main thing Grant, a head coach, has to do to keep his team focused for the second half of the season?
I think at this point, the foundation that you've laid should be there. So now what you try to do is schematically, maybe you go through some different defensive coverages. You try some different combinations of players to make sure that guys can make that adaptability quick enough that if that becomes part of a playoff scheme, you're ready for it.
Batum, good.
That's the efficiency you want to see from Jackson, using his poise and vision to make a play.
Doncic outside. He can't hit that time. So the Clippers will take it the other way. Last time they came together was in Dallas, where they fell to the Mavericks.
And really just a bad loss. No other way to put it. I mean, they maybe overlooked some of the bench players because those reserves got loose offensively.
Well, Richardson came in shooting threes and thought that might be the only thing he could do. He's no one-trick pony.
And here's George for three. The Mavericks pull it in.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And the shot goes in.
Well, a 7-footer that has a bit of moxie. Willie Cauley-Stein loves to play rough down low.
Outside Leonard. From deep three-point range, it's hauled in by Richardson.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Well, I thought they played smart, and then all of a sudden it was maybe a little too flashy there, and that's unfortunate.
Now here's Porzingis, coming off a solid outing against Minnesota. Richardson, no luck. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. Trailing by 2. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
Yeah, watching that game quarter to quarter, they sped up, they slowed down, but they executed in every facet.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. For Dallas, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Count that bucket.
So many different offenses that Tim Hardaway Jr. has played in, but he's trying to improve in his on-court awareness. A good show of it there.
Now here's Rondo. Shoots over Brunson. That one a little long.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Offensive rebound. Marjanovic. Chalk up 2 there.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, George with the ball. Now guarded by Redick. Powell against Morris. They get a hand on it. Here's Redick up and in from the low block.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Here's George. Patterson. Nice persistence to tip it back up and in.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up. Now here's Brunson. Talking about that win against the Timberwolves, he was definitely a major factor as well.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Here's George, trailing here by 8. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Yeah, you wondered if they would take some time to find their A game. They did it at jump ball. They've been awesome tonight.
And it goes down 2 points.
Well, keep it or dish it. Those are the decisions Paul George is trying to make, and he makes the right one there.
Brunson kicks to Hardaway. Back to Brunson.
Rondo sometimes gets it in his system that defensively he wants to disrupt the game, and he's doing it now.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's Dallas leading by 8. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And guys, what's your take on the Mavericks so far?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they did a great job. Just the initial thrust of that attack, as soon as they got the ball, constantly in transition.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Marjanovic is out there with Powell. Then there's Hardaway. Then it's Jalen Brunson. And it's Redick in at the 2-guard spot. It's hauled in by Zubac and stolen by Redick. Kennard with the ball. Now guarded by Redick. And Coffey gets it to go.
That's nice vision there. You see that pass, you make the feed before the defense has a chance to react, and that opens up a much better opportunity to score.
And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Here's Brunson. Makes it off the glass. Brunson's got 6. And here is Los Angeles now. 8-point game. And here's Rondo. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Mavericks shooting fantastically in this game. 62% from the floor. Out to Hardaway. And the pass to Powell. Outside, Redick. Outside Hardaway. Here's Powell. And it's Powell slamming it down.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Good job to recognize the opportunity. That's just very solid offense.
Here's Kennard. That one, no good. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, in that game, the offense was firing on all cylinders, partly because the other team's defense was a no-show.
Yeah, with the defense struggling like that, I think they just stayed with a healthy, consistent pace to get that win.
Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Now, that play never gets old. The pick and roll will still be an offensive staple 100 years from now. Trust me.
Now here's Redick taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Bucket is good.
A little mid-ranger is going to be an easy shot for him when he's got that much of a size advantage.
Redick passes to Marjanovic. Kicks it to Powell. Greg, you were a feared ball hawk in your playing days, and I know you see similar players playing today.
No doubt about that, Kev. You know, Ben Simmons, a player at 6'10" with those hands. He's incredible to watch on that. How about Fred VanVleet, though? He's a guy, they say he's 6'1". I don't know. But he gets into you and competes, man. And that's the beauty of our game. You know, you can be as big as the trees and have a major impact, or you can be one of those little fellas, as they like to call us, and be equally as effective on the floor.
Well, the Chris Pauls, the Patrick Beverleys. There are a lot of those guys that play the ball like you did so well. Yeah, right. Great players. First trip to the line for him here.
Tim Hardaway Jr. has some nights where it just looks effortless for him to get out and get 20 points. It's nice when he rebounds and passes in those games as well, showing complete game.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. And the Mavericks.
Kind of fun when you see his personality come out in his game like that.
Dallas leading by 8. Doncic with it. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Minnesota. And Doncic throws it down.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
And he gets the bucket.
Paul George getting after it there, helping out the teammate to try to secure one a second time.
Here's Doncic. He's averaging just around 28.5 points a game. So many offensive skills in his toolkit. Clippers trail by 8 and pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Leonard, no luck.
The defense is tough as it comes right there. He's a hard man to deny when he gets the ball to the rim.
Richardson kicks to Porzingis. Again, the Mavericks score.
They're going to take a little bit more to get Porzingis off of his sweet spot in his offensive game now.
George looking over the floor. And it's George again missing. And it's the Mavericks on the break. Here's Cauley Stein. It's deflected. And so it's Dallas with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're pounding the ball in.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm and Kenny, along with the incredible production Luka Doncic gives this team, his leadership, and that'll.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. One guy who's been getting it done is Jalen Brunson.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half. Just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
Batum's out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in at the point guard. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
In Europe, Doncic spent a lot of time as a primary ball handler. You see the craftiness there in terms of drawing fouls.
All free throws good from Doncic. Clippers trail by 12. Outside, George. And the rejection by Cauley Stein.
Cauley Stein in great position to reject that shot. Not been an easy start. 3 straight misses here on these possessions.
And now Batum pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Yes, finally one drops after the 0 of 3 start.
And so Doncic will bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Richardson with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Porzingis inside. Working on Zubac. Clock is at 3. And Finney-Smith gets it to go. Finney-Smith's got the lead up to 12 now for the Mavs.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
George, no good.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Finney-Smith passes to Cauley Stein. Hangs in the air, and that's 2 points on the layup. Cauley Stein's got his second bucket.
Taking contact on the way up. Cauley Stein going through it that time.
Here's George. He gets that one.
And I like the subtle adjustment he made to create a little space for that one.
Yeah, that's an awesome finish there for sure. Not allowing that big guy to have his way or or alter the shot.
Here's Doncic, and Doncic throws it down.
Has the vertical needed to dunk it. Doncic showing off the power and flair that he possesses.
Clippers trail by 14. Now George. 6 points for him. 2 free throws. And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul. Seeing if that was the right call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at. And how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They have decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Rondo's shot is off. Mavericks leading by 14. Richardson finds Porzingis. Dallas moving it around. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
Whoops. Got caught in between moves there on his way to the rack.
Wasted no time on that one. George has got 10 points.
And Paul George in the mid-range area, just dominating that possession.
Rondo against Doncic. And he banks in the layup.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Rondo dishes to Morris. And Morris throws it down.
Yeah, there's no excuse right there for not covering one of the guys on the floor, and that's Rondo around the rim where he can score.
Doncic against Rondo. Doncic with the bucket.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another.
The shot by George, wide open. Sinks the triple. George has got 9 points now in just the second half.
He can be just lethal from the perimeter, even though he didn't get good looks in the first quarter. Will that make right there? That could change things.
And the shot is good. And the Mavericks lead by 13.
And it just seems when Doncic turns it on, it's a sight to see. Incredible at scoring in a variety of ways.
Doncic against George. Count it. George has got 11 points in the quarter.
And he is starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Doncic kicks to Richardson. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the third. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Clippers trail by 13. Rondo passes to George. Pass to Morris. Back to George. Off target with his 3. Here's Richardson. So it's Richardson with the jam.
Richardson doing a great job in transition. Has good speed. That time accelerates in the open floor.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. On the floor for Dallas, J.J. Redick is out there with Luka Doncic. Then there's Cauley Stein. Then there's Marjanovic. And it's Hardaway in at the 3. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And now let's revisit that exceptional mobile one block.
The defensive awareness, the timing, when you have to face a defender that can reject you like that, it can alter your approach.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
Well, that's two teammates who need to reintroduce themselves to one another, not on the same page.
Paul George is checked in for Los Angeles. Doncic against Jackson. Doncic kicks to Cauley-Stein. Now here's Marjanovic. Defense is right there. He gets it in there. Marjanovic has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Mavs.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. And the upcoming schedule for the Mavericks. On Friday, they'll head back home to host the Indiana Pacers. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And Kevin, I think you have to look at this as an opportunity to take a step forward. Sometimes tough road trips can bring the best out of a team and bring you closer together.
And Doncic hits it to go.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
George against Redick. And George, here we go. He can't get that one to fall. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. Doncic feeling it out. His three-pointers off the mark.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Oturu's shot is off. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Dallas. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. Marjanovic, no good. Clippers have gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Outside, George, and he hammers that one down right in the face of Willie Cauley-Stein.
Well, not only looking at Paul George get up, look at the guys on the bench loving it from PG.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Outside, Redick. Three-pointer. Not going to go that time. Excellent D there from George. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Well, you can depend on Paul George to shoulder some of this offensive load. There are times where this team can turn over the reins to him, and he capitalizes that time.
The jump hook. Doncic, no good. Clippers trail by 16. Leonard with no one around. From outside, off the mark.
Sometimes you just have an off night, guys, and that's what we've seen so far.
Cauley-Stein kicks to Hardaway. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. And that one hits back iron.
The defense better tighten up on the mid-range there. Much, much tighter. You expect him to make every single one of those.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Outside, Redick. Puts up a three. They get the rebound. Marjanovic out to Hardaway. Passes it to Redick. Takes a three. Can't hit that one. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for Dallas.
They had a fantastic play from the bench.
And this team has great depth, and they showed it in this game.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And on the season, this is going to be their third win in 4 games against this team.
And we watched him all night long. No one could really stop him. Just another excellent game it was for Luka Doncic.
And guys, I just felt he was tremendous tonight. His energy infected his teammates, and the wrecking ball on both ends.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Doncic passes to Redick. They need this one. No good on that one. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. Doncic with the block.
And not exactly quick off the floor, but Luka uses great anticipation.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up for Greg Anthony.
I'm the 2K MC, and I am not happy right now. First, someone stole my bagel out of my 2K toaster, then they covered my car in sticky notes, and now my top plays folder is just cat videos. You know what? I keep a flat.
The view high above our broadcast location tonight, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports. We've watched a pretty interesting season unfolding in the Western Conference, guys. Let's check out the standings here. You look at the Clippers. Season well underway, and they've been solid in third right now. And, of course, the Nuggets, they're right in fifth place.
Well, I think for Denver, this season it's been solid. But they just need to maintain their place in the standings and get 100% prepared here for the postseason.
I don't think they played their best basketball, so if things do come together for them before the end of the regular season, look out.
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. They've got Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray is out there with Will Barton. Then there's Gordon, and it's Porter in at the small forward spot. And for the Clippers, Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Reggie Jackson, and it's Leonard in at the 3. Now here's Porter. Here's Gordon. Jokic trying to free himself up, and it's Gordon missing. Now the Clippers moving it up. Leonard with the ball. That one drops for him.
And you see Kawhi's hustle in transition, always putting himself in position to succeed.
Murray against Jackson. And here is Murray. In the game against New Orleans, very impressive.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Jackson passes to George. Kicks to Leonard. No good. Shot missing. Nice D from Porter. For Denver, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Out of nowhere, Gordon just soaring in there, and that athleticism carries him straight to the hoop.
George dishes to Batum. Clippers moving the ball around. Jackson finds Zubac. And Leonard has it in the corner. Launches a 3. Connects from three-point range. Leonard's got 5 now. Greg, if your system overall for these teams, if the schemes don't seem to be working, how much can you really change before you get to the offseason? Or, in particular, before you get to the playoffs?
It's never easy. A system change would come typically with a coaching change. And the reality is you also have to evaluate the roster, and you can't fit that square peg into a round hole. Whatever your system is, it's got to be catered to the personnel you have. You can't go the other way around, and I think that's what separates oftentimes the good coaches from the great ones.
Murray, good.
And the confidence from Murray, just so efficient from the interior.
Here's Jackson. He's coming off a 28-point game against San Antonio.
You can't forget about how great he was at forcing contact and getting to the line. He racked up a lot of easy points at the line that way.
And so it's Barton bringing it up for the Denver Nuggets. They trail by 1. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hits the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
They embrace the challenge as well. They hit big shot after big shot to keep the other team at bay.
Here's Jackson following the score by Aaron Gordon. And it's sent back by Jokic.
And check out Jokic using not just his length, but also the timing. The offensive player better think twice next time.
Doesn't go that time. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And the Clippers miss again. The Nuggets have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. A putback. Jokic on the follow. Jokic has got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Outside Leonard. 54 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Offline with his 3.
I mean, all period, it's been a struggle for him scoring the ball.
Gordon, the pass to Jokic. The kick out to Barton. That one falls.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Clippers trail by 5. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
George, no good.
Uncontested look. Can't fault the shot selection. He's money from there.
And that one's good. Barton.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
They're playing well. They're building momentum. This is how they can turn a small lead into a big one.
Here's Leonard. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one on Porter.
Mistake by the defender, fouling a very good free throw shooter in Kawhi.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Back to Murray. And it's Murray with the jam.
And if you look at this first half, overall, they've just had the better shot selection.
What they have done is ran their plays all the way through until they get something they like.
The offense coming free and easy. And we caught it before the game with Nikola Jokic, who had a
selfless. I mean, you need to
Greg, there are areas of Jokic's game where he probably is the best in the world.
I can't think of a center with better floor vision or better passing ability. His positioning, his angles, his ability to use his size to maximize effectiveness, all at an elite level.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And when you consider how Denver is doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
So on the floor for Denver, Green is out there with Paul Millsap. And there's JaVale McGee. Then there's Jamal Murray. Murray, no good. Clippers trail by 3. Denver's shooting is beautiful right now. 60% for the game. Pretty much everyone out there has been stroking it.
What a defensive play. Gets the stop and does it without fouling.
Offensive rebound. McGee with the block. And pushing it up. Here's Denver. Campazzo. Good, and the assist goes to Murray.
Nice awareness there. Finding the open man down the court on the break.
For Los Angeles, they've gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Rondo finds Patterson. Back to Rondo. The pass to Patterson. Clippers moving the ball around. On the clock. Rondo passes to Kennard. And again, it's the Clippers missing. Denver leading by 5. Here's Millsap. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Smart play call. Paul Millsap deadly once he gets the ball inside.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Morris outside. Feeds to Rondo. In the corner, Kennard with it. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Kennard's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Can't let Kennard get this close. Once you do, he's going up with it.
Campazzo, he's covered by Rondo.
And if you let the little guy get airborne before you slide over to block him out, he can and will embarrass you on the boards.
Oh, going high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Shoots the 3. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
They played terrific defensively. The few cracks they showed, guys were quick to rotate and help each other out.
I love the communication, love the hustle. They came up with big stops all night.
How about...
And yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Campazzo, guarded by Jackson. Pass to Bull. Millsap left side. Murray outside. Over George. That one a little long.
The defense is right there. Quality contest, and they threw him off his rhythm.
And it's really hard to knock George off his balance. He's just so long and strong. Nice take there.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. The Nuggets trail by 3. Barton outside. He kicks it to Bull. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And you see defenses trying to be physical with Bull. That time, contact on the shot had no effect.
Jackson finds Leonard. Three-pointer. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Jokic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Batum with the steal. Here's George. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Strong take by Paul. He plays with great decisiveness.
Wow. What, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe.
He's in attack mode, drawing contact now, getting to the line, something he didn't do at all in the first quarter.
Three-pointer, Barton. Jokic inside, defended by Batum. Jokic with the bucket. Jokic has got the game tied up here for the Nuggets.
Plays a rugged game down low. Jokic's toughness adds character to the identity of this team.
Tie game in Los Angeles.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. They're in better shape now than they were. And that'll...
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
This is his challenge, to continue to dominate, to help them try to close strong here in the second half.
They've got Paul George. Patrick Patterson is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Jackson in at the point guard. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Gordon, good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got his 4th assist in this one. Reggie, we hear this a lot. It's almost too popular now to say good offense beats good defense. Being a defensive-minded player yourself, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, Kevin. And the thing is, in today's game, when I played, there was an era, you could hold teams in the 80s and 90s. You could go a quarter and keep them at 12, 15 points. You can't do that now. It's different. You've got to be able to win stretches of 2 and 3 minutes. And honestly, you're right. The offense does dictate far more, but it doesn't discount the importance of defense. And if you still look at the reigning champs and the teams that have won titles recently, that's still one area that they're consistent in, is their defensive approach.
At some point, when you recognize someone's this out of rhythm, you have to shift to something else.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. A 2-point game. They host the 76ers after this game.
Only 1 for 4 in this half. Sometimes it's execution. Sometimes the shots just don't go down.
Los Angeles has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And that one goes out of bounds. It's touched by Zubac.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
So both teams making some changes here. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Here's Dozier. No points in the game yet for him. Here's Jokic. Drops in the layup for 2.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
George looking over the floor. On the wing, George. His 3-pointers off the mark.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Gordon, the pass to Bull. A 3-ball. Paul George grabs the miss.
Okay, that's frustrating. You work hard to get these open looks. You know he liked that one back.
Outside Leonard. Here's Patterson. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. JaVale McGee's checked in for Jokic. And Paul Millsap is subbed in for Porter. Here's Dozier. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Gordon, the pass to Dozier. Reverses. In deep, McGee drops it in. And the Nuggets lead by 4.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Rondo kicks to Morris. Here's Oturu. Excellent D that time there from McGee. The Nuggets leading by 4. Gordon inside. Morris is there. Dozier passes to Gordon. Here's Dozier. Outside Millsap. 5 on the clock. McGee trying to break free. Bull can't hit.
Unusual for him, just a lack of concentration. Fails to finish the play.
Love the recognition. Realizes that one is all him.
Sometimes that's the call. You want to be unselfish, but even more so, you want to be effective.
Here's Dozier. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
Sounds good. They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throw of the night here. And the Nuggets making a change here. Green's checked in. And the free throw, no good. We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Got to time up that clock to do so.
And Kennard wide open. He shoots. And it's off from three-point range. Pass to McGee. And it's blocked. And pushing it up Los Angeles. The Clippers again in transition. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Rondo wide open. Off target with his 3. The Nuggets leading by 4. It's stolen by Morris. And now the fast break. Rondo with the ball. It's stolen by Green. Pushing it up. Here's Bull. Finished off the break. Bull's got his second basket of the game.
Hard to fathom, but he is really fluid in terms of getting up and down the floor. Bull making himself a capable threat all over the floor.
And so it's the Denver Nuggets with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. So out there for the Nuggets right now, we've got JaMychal Green. He's out there with Paul Millsap. Bill Barton is out there with Murray. Morris, no good. And so it's Barton bringing it up for Denver. 6-point lead. Here's Murray. Shoots over Batum. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's on Nicholas Batum.
And really, Murray is so crafty at getting contact on his drives. Just fearless going to the hole.
Both teams deciding to change it up.
We've seen him put a lot of pressure on the defense and then cash in at the line.
Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Smooth off the bounce with the strength to finish through contact. Paul George showing us how it's done.
Now Murray. He feeds it to Barton. Stolen by Zubac. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Jackson has the open look. Well, good with the triple.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Here's Murray. Back to Jokic. Barton finds Jokic. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
Gotta love whenever Murray goes straight up with the jump shot off the pass. He's so good at reading the defense.
On the wing, Jackson wants to get it to Zubac, and does. Jackson passes to Oturu. From deep, George. They get it back. Here's Zubac. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
Back in the day, someone would have blocked him out, but times have changed.
Campazzo, guarded by Jackson. Stolen by Jackson. And foul call. Looks like they had a clear path to the basket. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. And they'll retain possession. First free throw is good. So he gets them both. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for the Clippers. And then for Denver, JaVale McGee's checked in for JaMychal Green. Michael Porter comes in for Barton. And Paul Millsap subbed in for Jamal Murray. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Millsap's against George. From deep. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
McGee. That's good. And it's Millsap with the assists. And the Nuggets lead by 6.
And you see the vision from Paul Millsap. That's another area that he provides for his teams.
Outside, George passes it to Leonard. Fires from deep. And it's Denver with the rebound. McGee's got 5 rebounds tonight. Campazzo defended by George. The kick out to Porter. And that's going to be too many steps. That's the whistle on the travel. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Patterson. Denver making a switch here. Clippers trail by 6. Leonard on the wing. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
Can't help but love the way Leonard plays the game. Stone-faced assassin.
Stolen by Jackson. And now the fast break. George with the ball. And he converts the layup. Now just a 2-point Nugget lead.
Paul George loves these situations. The bigger the moment, the more he wants to deliver.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
Huge. Jokic comes through just fearless. What an option.
George dishes to Leonard. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It's often a tough call that can go either way, but I agree with you on that one.
Murray against Jackson. Stolen by Jackson. Lays it in off the breakaway.
This is what the team needs from Jackson. Leadership when the game heats up.
1:10 left to play in the final quarter. From 7, Murray, good.
And the competitive nature of Murray making all the difference there, doing everything he can to rally his team.
Porter against George. It drops, and he has brought them to within 2 points.
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments.
The pass to Jokic. Pocket 4. Nice move. Money!
One of the best passing bigs the league has to offer. If you're open, Jokic will find you.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Trying to ice this one, Kawhi showing his evolution as a closer.
Murray right side. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. Porter looking it over.
Locked down, Leonard a smothering force on the defensive end.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Now for Greg Anthony's.
Well, at least the passer didn't do it twice. Wow! These plays are getting worse
and getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the...
Kevin, thanks.
He stays working and stays true. David, thank you. And let's take a look at the last handful of seasons and the steal number for Paul George.
And when you see the tumble his steal totals have taken the last few years, you can see that he's gotten away from playing the kind of gritty, hard-nosed D he was known for. That's an aspect of his game he needs to get back.
Let's take a look at our starters from Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Norman Powell, and it's Nurkic in at center. And for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. And there's Jackson. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's George in at the two-guard spot. Lillard attacking. And he uses the glass on the layup. And Doris, tonight, two experienced teams will be battling.
Well, what you come to expect with experienced rosters are excellent defensive rotations, game plan discipline. These guys know how to play the game. So let's see how this plays out.
Here's Leonard. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance. And folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
Kawhi Leonard. And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
Here's Lillard, and Lillard throws it down.
Outstanding handles from the clever guard. Lillard crafty with it in his hand and can create for anybody.
Here's George. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Yeah, quick thinking wins Dame assist. Finds the open man and the ball instantly there for the finish.
So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. Clock at 6. And George kicks to Leonard. No good on the triple.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
And that one's good, Lillard.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
George with the ball. Now guarded by Nurkic. Great positioning on the putback.
A hard blue-collar work ethic on display. This guy just beating everyone to the ball.
And a deep 3 from Lillard. Kept alive.
Hard work and soft hands. Guys, that's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in. Jackson passes to George. And the rebound by Nurkic. The Trailblazers have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. The shot by Lillard, wide open. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. 8 points for Lillard. Now George. His last outing, he had 24 points. And then George with the jam.
Now, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Batum, good.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
And it's Lillard again missing. It's Jackson with the drive. Sweet move. He lays it in.
Boy, that open look set up by Kawhi Leonard, that's probably the most underrated aspect of his game.
Jackson against Lillard. Inside, here's Powell. Portland moving the ball around. Really left alone that time. Here's George. He has 6. Pass to Zubats. There's 49 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And George kicks to Zubats. Nobody near Leonard. Drills it from outside. Leonard's got 5 now.
This guy loves to help his team space the floor. You have to respect Kawhi's range. He will make you pay.
Lillard finds Powell. Out to the right wing. This one for 3. And Damian Lillard, good for the 3. He's got 11.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Here's George. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
This guy has been a catalyst for them all game long. What a job leading them to this lead.
The Clippers shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
I don't know if it's underplayed, but there's an all-around aspect to what Paul George does on a night-by-night basis. This guy is an elite two-way player.
Simons, and he goes in for the dunk.
And offensively right now, each team getting what it wants.
Yeah, this is already a high-scoring game, but we knew that was a possibility coming into this one.
Here's George. Missed inside. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the LA Clippers. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. And before the game, we talked to Damian Lillard. You know, Greg, he is...
I don't fear nobody.
And if Lillard's proved anything to us, Greg, in his career, you know he loves a challenge.
One of the premier big shot makers in this game. I don't know if there's anyone you'd rather give the ball to in crunch time.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Clippers, guys. What are your thoughts?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And we know this. Every team in the league now seems to be looking to play with pace.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court right now for the Trailblazers, they've got Norman Powell. Enes Kanter is out there with Anthony. Then it's Jones. And it's Simons in at the point guard position. To the left wing. Patterson, that's good. Patterson's got the lead back up to 3 now for Los Angeles.
Well, we know that Patrick Patterson can step away and be a force as a face-up guy, but still plenty dangerous inside.
Anthony dishes to Kanter. Shoots over Patterson. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
That's good from Kanter. You know, when you look at the balance of power between players and teams, Greg, does it feel like the players now have more say, more control than they used to?
No doubt. We're seeing more players demand trades, sign shorter contracts with opt-outs. And the irony of that is, in my era, our best players were fearful for the length of their contracts or the life expectancy of their careers, believe it or not. And these guys today, they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table, and they are utilizing that to the max.
And is that good, Greg, for the game?
I think so. I do think most guys want to win, and they understand that their legacies are going to be defined about whether or not they do.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
Simons, his second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
Kennard, the pass to Leonard. It's deflected. Here's Simons. He's covered by Rondo. So they take the lead. Cantor's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Outside Leonard. Yes, that goes in.
Well, efficiency from the mid-range has always been a part of Kawhi Leonard's game.
Simons surveying the D. Rondo with the steal. Here's Leonard, and it's Leonard with the jam.
And that's up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break. Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Outside Leonard, down low. Here's Patterson. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Patterson's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Well, I think he's known as a pick-and-roll defender, but Patrick Patterson taking advantage on the offensive end. Good timing, good execution.
Here's Anthony. Here's Cantor. And it's blocked. And he recovers it. Here's Simons. Missed the shot. He's 3 for 4 in the game. For Los Angeles, they've gone 6 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. Here's Leonard. And that one hits back iron.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
Jones, no luck.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Now here's Rondo. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Oturu. A rim-rattling two-handed jam.
He is just brilliant in that pick and roll. Rondo does a great job of cutting passes through the porous defense.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way.
Well, speed, intelligence, touch. Kawhi Leonard has it all.
And Simons, who's got the ball here for the Portland Trail Blazers. They trail by 6. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Portland shooting their 2nd and 3rd shots at the line right here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Good on both.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
George with the ball. And he gets the bucket.
You can see there's complete trust in Paul George in pick and rolls. Fantastic at taking advantage of the defense.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, back. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. And that does it for our halftime.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking...
Wow, hammering it in!
Adding to their advantage, trying to find a way to blow this one open.
One of the things they're doing is identifying favorable matchups and then going at them.
A guy who spaces the floor, but also willing to attack the rim. Lillard has confounded the defense all night.
Jackson kicks to Leonard. Now the pass to Zubac. It's good. Zubac has got the lead up to 8 now for the Clippers.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Here's Powell. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. 5 to shoot. And Lillard throws it down.
And for a point guard, Lillard has some hops. Outstanding at knowing when to use them for the dunk.
Jackson against Lillard. And Jackson throws it down hard.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
I tell you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
Here's Lillard. Powell trying to free himself up. And Damian Lillard with the jam.
That should give him a nice little jolt.
Yeah, it has to. They need a jolt, GA.
Well, sometimes it's about taking it into your own hands. That kind of individual play could spark his group.
Greg, we know the names of the superstars, but there are players that are just under that category who probably should get a little more recognition.
Hey, Kevin, that's a great point, and I'm going to toot my alma mater's horn a little bit. Christian Wood's a guy that kind of reminds me of that. He's kind of on the come up. How about Devontae Graham, the second rounder back in 2018, but he's showing to be an established young talent in this league, and there are many more guys like that, and they're going to have their opportunity to become household names.
Brilliant second half start. 4 for 4 from the field. Can't ask for any better.
Lillard against Jackson. Stolen by Zubac. And the call will be against Jusuf Nurkic. That'll be his second foul of the game. Clippers leading by 10. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Jackson passes to Batum.
You love that defensive effort right there showing up.
The 3 from McCollum. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. And the call will be against Jusuf Nurkic. That's his third foul of the game. And Portland making a change here. Panthers checked in. George dishes to Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
And with a quick first step, Jackson remains a threat to drive on any defender.
Lillard attacking, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, offensively, this guy has been cooking. They're definitely not losing because of him.
Jones checked in for the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here.
Wearing the number 0 for a reason. Damian Lillard has it on his back for his city, Oakland. Just the latest star from the town.
And stolen by Lillard. And now running up the court, Lillard pushing it up. And the shot goes in. Lillard's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Well, this quarter has been all about this guy. He is trying to close the gap in the score.
Jackson. And Jackson throws it down hard.
You know Jackson can just fly. I mean, that athleticism and energy is off the charts.
Lillard from outside hits it from three-point range. Lillard's got 25 points in the game.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute session, but he's just not getting enough help.
Here's George, and then George with the jam.
Well, you love how Paul George finishes on the drive. That is a powerful dunker right there.
Pass to McCollum. Back to Lillard. The 3. The Clippers grab the miss. George has got 4 rebounds in this game. And there is a whistle. That'll go on Derek Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Both teams will make substitutions. Outside Rondo. Passes it to Coffey. Rondo looking over the floor. Here's Okuru. Misses in close. Trailblazers trail by 8. Here's Jones. He goes right over Marcus Morris and slams it down.
And we talk about court awareness. There, McCollum doing a beautiful job spotting the open man.
Rondo finds Kennard. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Enes Kanter.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Clippers have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department. Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. And a switch here also for Portland. Norman Powell's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. Here's Simons. He's covered by Rondo. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
That should give him a nice little jolt.
Yeah, it has to. They need a jolt, GA.
Well, sometimes it's about taking it into your own hands. That kind of individual play could spark his group.
Powell against Leonard. With 4 seconds on the clock. Here's Oturu. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Terry Stotts had some advice for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
Make simple passes. We got him caught.
The 4th quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Trailblazers trail by 8. And on the floor for Portland here in the 4th, they've got Enes Kanter, C.J. McCollum out there with Norman Powell. Then it's Jones. And it's Nurkic in at the center position. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Clearly a foul.
He's off on the first. Robert Covington's checked in for Kanter. Good on the 2nd free throw. And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Lillard's checked in. And here's George. No good on that one. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. When this game is done, they'll be off to take on the Raptors. That will be the 4th of the string of 5 played on the road. Here's Lillard. And he makes good on the layup. And that's now 27 points for Lillard.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
You got to love the penetration by Paul George. He's really quick on his feet, and the defense cannot handle him right now.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Trailblazers trail by 7. And a deep 3 from Lillard. Batum grabs the miss. The Clippers shooting has been out of this world. 74% from the field. Leonard with the ball. Lillard picks him up. A second chance effort. And that one is good from Zubac. And the Clippers lead by 9.
You're fighting to keep the possession alive, something this guy does so well.
Lillard against Leonard. And Lillard gets it to go. Lillard's got 29.
And for someone who spends most of his time on the perimeter, Lillard's a terrific finisher inside. His moves to the basket aren't tentative. They are strong.
Pass to Leonard. The pass to Zubac. And the rebound by Nurkic.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one. Not everyone has the green light to take that 3 in transition, but he does, especially with the defense already set up protecting the paint.
George looking over the floor. And George with the stuff.
How about Paul George? Puts it on the deck, uses that explosive quickness. This guy is really hard to contain.
Lillard from outside. Pass to Powell. Fires the 3. The Trailblazers with a new shot clock.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
There are nights where it's impossible to stop Paul George. He is such a strong guy who knows how to convert through these plays.
Carmelo Anthony, he's checked in for Portland. Trailblazers trail by 9. Lillard up top, guarded by Jackson. He gets that one. Lillard's got 6 here in this quarter.
What strength from Lillard, just not allowing the defense to have the last word.
George passes to Leonard. Outside Jackson. From outside the arc, and Leonard gets it to go on the assist from Jackson.
Leonard doesn't give the defense time to react. His catch-and-shoot game is on point.
Lillard from outside hits the three-point bomb. Lillard's got 34.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
McCollum against George. And there's the big-time jam as he slams it right over Nurkic.
Well, we know that Paul George understands there's a certain point in the game when he's got to take over, and he's doing it now.
Lillard way outside. And the Trailblazers another 3.
And talk about a terrific stroke. The defense was hoping that a 3-ball that deep wasn't going in.
George against McCollum. Now here is George. Defense is right there. Zubac kicks to George. Just 4 to shoot. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Well, the three-point shooting of Paul George is an important attribute. Because he can put it on the deck, he's got to balance it with that kind of look right there.
Here's Nurkic. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet.
Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
They're this close to putting it away.
Yeah, they don't need to do anything special. Just take time off the clock.
It's up a 3. George, no good.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
McCollum with the ball. George picks him up. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Lillard. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. He gets the first, and that trims the lead to 6. And both free throws good for Damian Lillard. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the left side wing. Outside, George. Passes it to Mann. Jacks up a 3. Unable to get that one. So the Clippers with the win. Probably a little closer. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks.